Hello there, my name is Davis, and welcome back. Season 3, we've made it almost to the finish line of the Valladolid Career Mode series. We're not in game just yet. In front of you, you should be seeing the current rules that we set out at the start of the challenge. I didn't go through in the review video last time out, so I'm going to go through it quickly at the start of this one. Starting off, we had to find the next R9, a Brazilian striker, and make him top goal scorer. Although he is not top goal scorer yet, Renier is more than capable of becoming the next R9 for us. I think he got 43 goals in the league last season, so he is well on his way and could easily surpass that 73 goal target. So there's a cross for now because he hasn't broke the record. But I'm hoping by the end of the season there will be a big fat tick next to it, which also goes into the next one. We still need to win the La Liga and we still need to win the Copa del Rey. Came very, very close to winning the Copa del Rey season 1. Unfortunately losing in the final to Real Madrid. And although we did win some silverware last year in the Supercopa, once again against Real Madrid, beating them this time 3-1 victory, it is not one of the current objectives in terms of our challenge. So once again, another big fat cross there. Hopefully we can tick off at least one in the Copa del Rey. Looking to win that this year, alongside competing in the Europa League and going for Champions League in the league. So yeah, busy season. The next one we can put a big fat tick next to is for the first few seasons, make use of loanees and fit Ben Arthur into the team, which we did succeed with. Also loan in nearby Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid players, which we did last season. We had Kubo, I can't remember his first name, but we had him. He was brilliant for us first season, second season, and we had a couple of other loanees in the first season. So a nice fat tick there for us. Objective done and dusted, leaving us with 3 technically. Going on to the fourth one. Another maybe there. It is a cross for now, but find the next Valderrama and Higuaita, the 2 ex-Colombian superstars that played for Real Valladolid in the past. We have the potential there. We've definitely got a potential goalkeeper there in terms of can't remember his name, Bustos I think his name is, but fantastic potential on him. Definitely will be making him not maybe first team goalkeeper, but be integrating him into more league games this season, as he's almost 75 already, I think, which is fantastic for us. And we have Orellana, one of the wingers. I know Valderrama wasn't necessarily a winger, but as a wide attacking midfielder with a cam, we have Orellana who can certainly fill that role. So it's not quite a tick, but an orange cross, shall we say, for now. And the final one was more of a less of an objective, but more of a rule in terms of not allowed to sign players on a pre-contract or use financial takeover, which we have not used yet, which is another tick for that. And that is that. That is the rules for the rules and objectives for the challenge. And let's get into pre-season. So the first thing on the agenda for pre-season for me was get someone to replace Alcaraz. His legs are starting to go. He'd already dropped 2 ratings towards the end of the season last season, down to a 78. I didn't want to. He'll still be around the club, I imagine, but I needed somebody a lot higher rated, proper marquee signing. And that man was Christopher Nkunku from RB Leipzig, 84 overall, 23 years of age, and he had a buyout clause of, I think, 34 million, something like that, which we were able to pay since we had a decent amount in the bank at that point from finishing in the Europa League last season. He is the highest paid player at the club, settling for a 63,000 wage, which is almost 20,000 higher than the next highest, which is Renier, I think. But we did eventually manage to get over the line. Very happy with the signing. He'll go straight into the first team, replacing the aging Alcaraz. Obviously, Alcaraz will feature every now and again through the season, but the main central midfield partnership will be between Soumare and Nkankou going into the next season. A little bit more on the contract situations, the contract wages. I did notice a lot of players were not happy with their current contract, so I started going through the team and increasing their wages, renewing contracts that I wanted to renew, just so they'd get that. I'd make the team happy again. A little bit of a couple of hiccups, though. A couple of players not happy with mostly the playing time they'd be offered, and those being the main one being Jordi Masip, our keeper, who will get phased out this season. He wanted a crucial role, couldn't offer him that, so unfortunately we had to decline the contract renewal talks, just because we're going to start integrating in Bustos this season to be our up-and-coming goalkeeper. Basically got unbelievable potential, and I just couldn't guarantee the crucial role for Jordi Masip, but most of the others were all right. I think the only other one was the striker for, I can't remember his name, Plaza. That's one. Our striker Plaza, obviously our number one striker in the first season, but since then we've recruited well, and he's kind of fallen to the back of the pack, and he still wanted to be an important squad member. Unfortunately, we couldn't afford that to him, though. Following on from the contract renewals, I did want to bring in a marquee centre-back, someone who could go alongside Salisu, because Costa, although he's decent, he's only young, got time to grow. I wanted someone to lead us into Europe, a real leader, a really top quality centre-back, and I started looking at Mario Hermoso. He did play for Real Valladolid for I think a couple of years before moving, so I wanted to try and bring him back to the club, but Atletico Madrid just weren't budging. They wanted nearly 60 million for him. So me and Diego Simeone were going back and forth a bit on the price. Unfortunately, I had to decline, and we miss out on Hermoso. But then we go straight into another set of negotiations for Takefusa Kubo. We signed him last season on loan, and he was fantastic for us. I think he got like 13 assists, a couple of goals as well from that right attacking mid spot, or left attacking mid spot. And I wanted to bring him back in, this time for 2 years. So he'll be with us next year. We managed to secure the loan. I wanted to pay a little bit less on wages, but settled for 45.55, which I was more than happy to take. Following the disappointing unable to get Mario Hermoso, I did go in for Diego Carlos of Sevilla. He's an older player, I think he's about 2 years older than Hermoso, I think 28. But he's played in the Europa League for Sevilla. He is top quality in terms of coming into our side and improving us straight away. And he was relatively cheap. He had a buyout clause which we were able to trigger and still have money left over in the bank. And the contract renewal wasn't too bad at all, so he comes straight into the first team. And as you can see here, Hertha Berlin, I think, tries to pay out the buyout clause on Max Aarons. I do not want to get rid of Max Aarons under any circumstances, so I did go and renew his contract just so he doesn't leave. He's a top quality right back, our starting right back, and he's got plenty of room to grow. So a quick contract renewal there, give him a little bit more money per week. And he's got some other clauses in there, sees him stay with us. As we move into the scouting networks, I sacked the one, I say sacked, I let the one scout go. He was 4-star, 5-star, and I just want to stick with the 2 5-star, 5 stars, just so we're not filling the club, the youth squad with like average players. I wanted just the best players. So I'm sticking with the 5-star, 5 stars, so I just don't have to filter through as many players through the season. Sent the 1 to Spain, keeping the homegrown talent. Took him for technically gifted. And I sent the Dutchman, Jan Broijn, to the Netherlands, to his hometown, to look for hopefully the next Virgil van Dijk, or that kind of player, basically. So hopefully they bring something back. As you can see, AC Milan comes in 41 million buyout clause for Salisu, and that is a lot of money. And the amount of money I just couldn't let slide. So we do say goodbye to our defensive stalwart from the last 2 seasons. Mohamed Salisu makes way, goes on to greener pastures, and we have 36 million to spend on a new centre-back. So the scramble began. I started off Victor Lindelof, now of Leicester City. I went into a contract negotiation transfer negotiation for him, but they wanted, I think it was something like 41 million for 27-year-old who had already reached his potential. And I mean, he's got great stats, don't get me wrong, but I thought I could do a little bit better. I was looking at Alessio Romagnoli, now of Valencia, formerly of AC Milan. That was probably my first option to try and get, but once again, they just wanted way too much. I offered in the mid to low 40s, because that's all I could afford, basically, but they wanted low 50 million, which I just could not afford and pay the wages for. So unfortunately, we missed out on Romagnoli as well, despite being my number 1 choice as a centre-back. I mean, fantastic stats, 85 overall already, only 26 years old, and he grows to upwards to nearly at 89, I think. So one of the highest growing centre-backs on the game, unfortunately unable to get him. So we missed out on those contract negotiations, and finally we stumbled on Dio Upamecano, real centre-back, at least on Foot Ultimate Team anyway. Incredibly pacey, young, still potential to grow, 83 overall. I mean, the list goes on, and we managed to get him for around 46 million, I think. A little bit fine in terms of the wage budget. I literally expended all my transfer budget, and we were left with about 40k to spend on wage. I was getting a little bit worried that we'd agree the deal, but I would have no wage budget left to get him in and pay him, and then the contract would break down. But thankfully, they leave us with enough play in the bank that we can successfully bring in Upamecano, who will come straight into the first team. He'll definitely improve her as well, as we look to go on to battle on 4 fronts in the league, in the cup, in Europa League, and yeah, that's 3 fronts. That's about it. But yeah, that brings us onto our first game of the season. We made it all the way through pre-season, didn't do any of the pre-season tournaments this time. Just wanted to get them out of the way. And we have Getafe FC at home to kick us off this season. Definitely a winnable game. But before we get into it, I'm just going to outline what I'm going to do for this season to get through it a little bit quicker. I know I've played every single game so far for the first 2 seasons, but I think we're comfortably at a point now in the manager mode where I can start simming the matches, at least the home matches against the lesser opposition, should we say? Especially like top bottom 8, something like that. Obviously, FIFA's simulation mode is dodgy at best at times, and if we get some bad results, we take it on the chin and we move on. But some of the games are going to start getting simulated just so I can get through the season a little bit quicker, as FIFA 21 is fast approaching us. So yeah, that is the pre-season. It's not quite the end of the transfer window just yet. Let's get into the first games of the season. And this is how we line up for the first game of the season. Team has come on leaps and bounds since that first game. 2 seasons ago now. I think there's one player, Waldo, from the original starting lineup. Sumare was there was the first one brought in, but just Waldo starts as the only original Valladolid player making this the start into the 3rd season. Players are unlucky to miss out. Jordi Matip, for example, Alcaraz, they've been mainstays since the first season, but times change, and so do teams. And I think this is our best possible team going into this new season. Bastos making his professional debut for us. 76 rated already, 18 years old, and he's well on his way already, slowly catching up to Matip. Diving's ready overtaken. Handling's a little bit off, kicking's not far off, reflex is not far off, quite a bit slower, and exactly the same positioning. So he's definitely someone I want to start getting some game time, and what better than at the start of the season. Other players, Ethan Ampadu will start making their more appearances. Costa will still feature despite him more or less being dropped this season. Just the fact that we've got 2 unbelievable centre-backs in Upamecano and Diego Carlos. Orellana will still feature. He's definitely someone I want to integrate into more, especially as he grows and gets faster and everything. Some of the stats he's already got are unbelievable. 94 ball control and 86 dribbling. He's going to feel unbelievable on the ball, basically. Plaza will feature now and again, just off the bench mostly. We still have, the pair of these. So it was like something like 60 goals between them last season. Really, really unbelievable. But I couldn't ask for more. I would have liked to have got one more attacking-minded player. Did have my eye on Dani Olmo, the Leipzig man, but the way it panned out and us losing Salisu just meant that we had to focus on the defensive line, and I think that's fine. Our attack last season, we were top goal scorers. I think our top 2 were top goal scorers anyway. And one of the areas we did struggle in was maybe the defence, and hopefully we've patched that up going into the new season. But let us get into the Getafe game. Hoping for a big 3 points to start the season strong and get us rolling. Come on then, boys. Let's get the season started on the right foot. I think we lost to Getafe a couple of times or at least once last season. So They've definitely got a decent squad from what I remember. But our squad, it's looking like a European playing squad at least. Not sure about winning, but we've definitely got the players to compete. So they make their way forward. Max Aaron's with a great tackle. Jonathan David makes the run. He's got the pace. Renier also is beautiful. It's unbelievable. We start off the new season as we finished the last. Jonathan David to Renier. 15 minutes gone and it's happened again. I mean, you can't say much more about that goal. War pass, lovely little scoop turn pass, back heel, and a little dink over the keeper, just a little bit of loft. Seals the first goal, and we are looking very, very good so far. He's through again. It's Renier. It's 2-0. It's just too easy. Parting like the Red Sea. Once again, I mean, this is such a good combo up top. Jonathan David and Renier. He's got 2 already. First 20 minutes into the new season, he's top goal scorer once again. The man is an absolute phenomenon. Waldo. That's lovely. Lovely link up again. Jonathan David's in. He's hit the post, but it's rebounded. And it's 3-0. Ripping Getafe apart. 33 minutes gone. And that is 3 points in the bag, I think. It would take an absolute meltdown for me to give this lead up. Renier's held his run so well, and he's got his hat trick. Oh, I might need to put the difficulty up. I can't put the difficulty up. I get slapped by Ultimate. It's just so easy once again. Getafe giving him all the time in the world. First half hat trick, 3 goals for Renier. I think 3 assists for Jonathan David as well. I mean, what more could you want? Waldo does well to get to the byline, but unable to find the cross. And that is that for the first half. A stellar first half, I would say, for the first game of the season. The boys, with no pre-season friendlies, are absolutely banging form already. Defense haven't touched the ball yet. I don't think the keeper's touched the ball anyway. And we go into the second half, hopefully, to continue the first. Dealt with very nicely. And we have a chance to break again. Jonathan David's got the pace on Teddy. Little heel-to-heel chop. And it's 5. 5-0. He's on for his hat-trick as well now. Lovely little step inside. Opens the body up. Finds the far post. Past the keeper. 3 for Renier. 2 for Jonathan David. And we're putting our name on this the start of this season. I can't imagine it's going to be many other teams, depending on what the big 5 depends on who they're playing. Unless they pump someone 5 or 6-0, I think we might be starting the season top. First corner of the afternoon for Getafe, straight at the man on the near post. Just about managed to clear it. Got a bit lucky that Orlando was there. unable to fully get it away. I would like to keep a clean sheet. That was one thing that let us down last year, was cheap goals given away, and very much in the first season as well. As we give a ball away again, unable to bit of sustained pressure, and they get a goal. I mean, it was coming, just couldn't get the ball out, and the ball off the post falls to their striker, finishes it well on the volley. Good technique, could easily escape that. But it's unfortunate, considering we've been so dominant, to give up the clean sheet. For the cross, I kind of wanted it to go chipped back to Ethan Ampadu on the edge of the box. Nkanku finds his way forward. There's a strike. Oh, he's hit the bar on his debut. I think that was right in the top corner as well. Hits the meeting point between the bar and the upright. But yeah, unfortunate really. Jonathan David, could he get his hat trick? It's lovely skill, and he does manage to seal it. Matches Renier, 3 for him, 3 for Renier, 6-1 on the day. And the boys are on flames going into the season. Last kick of the game. As soon as this goes out, that is victory sealed? Question mark. There we go. 3 minutes longer than should have. The ref put in Getafe through it today, and Jonathan David and Renier are going to have to cut the ball in half. Take half home each. A very, very successful day for the boys, and I think that should make us top of the league going into game week 1. Fantastic result for us. I mean, 10 goals, 7 on target, we scored 6-1. Can't complain with that at all. Had the possession. That was one thing from last year. We won games, but we were getting dominated in possession. But nice to see that we've retained the ball a bit better today. Hopefully you can take that on for the rest of the season. And that is the first game done and dusted. Right, I think we'll just leave the career mode here now. Top of the league, 3 points clear on goal difference, or 3 goals different, better on goal difference to Real Madrid, well, to every other team except for Betis. And the rest of them got a +2 on the goal difference, but we are sitting pretty on 5. But we go into a very tough game against Real Betis in the next one, which will be the last game for this episode anyway, I do believe, if we find it. Before we get there though, Real Sociedad interested on taking Gallardo, which is very tempting actually. He's worth 8 million already, to be fair to him, and I just don't give him the game time, so I'm going to accept that. Just to get him, hopefully he plays and hopefully he grows. Hopefully if he goes, that is. Because he's got very, very high potential, and he's just not getting there at the moment because he's not playing. He can't get in our starting 11. He does manage to get loaned out. We get a loan offer for Kike Perez, but another one that not really great. I'm going to reject it just to have some players on the bench. Otherwise we'll be very, very short on numbers. But Real Betis away this time, so I think they started off with a win. Villarreal go top. Obviously we got an extra game to play. Villarreal and Atletico win their second games. With that's about it really. Valencia with a poor start, 2 losses in a row. It's very nice to see because they were the ones we'd be competing against for that 4th place position if last season did anything to go off by. So very happy to see them off to a poor start. But back to focusing on us. Real Betis away. Let us try and replicate that that first home game. I think we're gonna stick with the first. Stick with the first team. I think massive game calls for it, and yeah, hopefully we can continue our form going into this game. This is our first real test of the season. Second game in. I think we always play Betis early on in the season. First season we played them first game. Play them second game here. But I think we've turned them over a couple of times. Hoping to do the same year, to be fair. But not going to hold my breath yet. Just got to see how the game plays out. Good flowing football already. Kubo's found his space. Emerson's showing great speed to get back though. Keep the move alive just about. Play the ball nice and calm on the edge of the box. Trying to look for that space. Jonathan David's found it. Oh, I thought that was top bins. Oh, what a start that would have been. The ball just curves away. You want that to be a hit a little bit straighter. Maybe even curl her inwards a little bit. But it's a decent start for the boys, 10 minutes in. First real chance. Lovely run. 2. Get in there. 1-0. Renier into David this time. And that is the goal we needed. He's unlucky not to score his first attempt. But a very, very well worked first goal. A little drag back sort of thing. Creates the space for Renier. Lovely through ball in behind for Jonathan David. Lets it roll across the body. And it's a great finish. Keeper's not saving that. And we are looking very, very good value. He stepped up. Upamecano steps in well, covers the gap. And we've got a chance to break. Renier's made the run. It's a decent run at that. Jonathan David's in the centre. He's gone to Kubo instead. Oh. We've got the lines all mixed up there. It's a poor attempt, really. Goal was wide open. He's kind of scuffed it. Massive chance, should have been 2-0. But we move on. Hopefully we don't live to regret it. Good, and Nkunku unable to stop it. Thought we'd give away a free kick penalty there, but must have just gone down pretty soft. William Carvalho. The big opportunity for them there. Free shot on goal more or less just before half time. And it's been a decent half so far. Just started to let them back into it a little bit towards the end there. We could easily be 3-0 up. I'll settle for the 1. But if we go on to drop points here, I will be a little bit disappointed considering, especially that first chance. Big opportunity, and the Kubo one where, could have even taken the touch, which would have been my fault, but he had so much time. But hopefully we can double our lead early on in this second half. Max Aarons again. Fantastic defender. Very, very good defender. He's good going forward, but first and foremost, very, very good fullback. So we get a little bit fortunate there. Look how deep you are at home, Betis. 1-0 down at home, and they're showing absolutely no signs of pressing. Keep the ball all day. Absolutely no problem whatsoever, lads. They play it backwards into midfield, and just before they do, we're going to make the subs. I think gonna make Nkunku come off for Alcaraz. Costa for Diego Carlos. He's been a little bit sloppy at the back today, and Orellana for Kubo on that side. Waldo's played decent. 3-on-2. It's an opportunity. Renier to Waldo, and he's missed it. Oh no! Oh, maybe I should have hit that with Renier. And there was a defender right in front of him. It's a narrow miss. But I mean, will they have chance to attack? I mean, there's a minute left. They pumped the ball up, and Costa manages to hold on, and we managed to hold on and take our second win in 2 games at the start of the season. Big victory here against Real Betis. They would have definitely been one of the teams looking for that, well, challenging us up this end of the table. Bit of a weird one. We had so many chances, especially first half. 3 or 4 chances, could have easily been 3-0. But we don't get punished, thankfully. Unlike it's unlike our tradition, our normal attack force to be so wasteful. I don't think Renier had a shot, mind. Despite his 8.2 rating, I think that might have been from the assist, which he does get. He did have 2 shots, Renier, same amount as David. A couple of attempts fell to Waldo. The best attempts fell to Waldo and Kubo and Jonathan David, who were unable to. Well, except for David, he was able to finish 1, thankfully. But we move on. We take the 3 points. Continue on our path. Should still be top, I believe, on goal difference, unless maybe Real Madrid won 5-0. Before we end the episode, a big offer for our once main man, has been main man for the last 2 seasons. 15 million for Jordi 15.4 million for Jordi Masip is something I simply cannot turn down. He's reached 32. We've got a replacement for him, and we've got backup on the bench. And £15 million is something I'm more than happy to part with, assuming the contract negotiation things don't break down. It'll be sad to see him go. He's been unreal for us for the first 2 seasons, but 15 million could see me bring in an extra body in maybe the attack, just to strengthen a little bit going into the extra competitions this year. But as you can see, we stay at the top of the table. Real Madrid not even up there unless they've lost. 38 million paid for Waldo. That is not what I wanted to see, but that is a great deal of money. And I think, despite him having a decent start to the season, I think we're going to let him go. 38 million is huge. Huge amount of money for Waldo. 80 rated. It's been fantastic for us. He's not our main man by any means, but we could definitely upgrade. On top of the massive money, we'll have close to 45-50 million to spend looking at an upgrade. I've already got a tab open for world-class players. Maybe look at doubt Odegaard will be looked at, but I mean, some of these players on here are definite options and something to think about. We could even go for our main target, Dani Olmo. I mean, 85 rated, 45 million. It is something to consider going into the next game. and the transfer deadline day, and we do get confirmation that Masip has been sold. Truly sad day at the club. The old guard are making way as we bring through new, younger, hungrier players. And from the original team, Appa, Alcaraz, Plaza, and these three lads on the bench are all that stands left to remember the original Valladolid. 12.5 added to the transfer budget. And I mean, it could be a little bit more by the last couple of days going into the end of the transfer deadline day. And that is where we're going to end it for this episode. Bit of a whirlwind of an episode, to be fair. We've got through all of pre-season, lots of signings, lots of comings and goings, 2 fantastic games to start, and we've even got the draw for the Europa League, it does look like. Before we leave, let's quickly take a look at this, just to see who we are drawn against. Following this group stage draw on Friday, Valladolid is ready to begin their Europa League campaign against Vitória Guimarães of Portugal, I think they are, on September the 16th. The rest of their fixtures of Group F set against Olympiacos and Konyaspor. So we got Olympiacos of the Greek League and Konyaspor of the Turkish League. So that is a very, very kind Europa League draw in terms of our group, and I think that is something we could definitely qualify through and look forward to. But yeah, this has been episode 1 of the 3rd season. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, leave a like. If you've not, leave a dislike. If you want to stay up to date with the rest of my series, you can always subscribe, that's no problem at all. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Davis, and good night.